asked me to show a frame or something.
Yeah, totally. We could definitely show them. We can't show anything that isn't just Onyx, because then we have to have clearance from the other actors.
Okay.
But we could show them a shot that's just Onyx. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I should have brought my better camera. It's so...
Oh.
I don't want any more light, though, because I like it being chill.
Okay.
Were you going to offer to put more light on?
I was, yeah.
Nah. We just keep it chill. So I'm starting the stream very late this week, but it's because we're doing a little. What would you call this, Mike? Is this like a review session?
Kind of a playback review.
Playback review. I'm here with the co-supervising sound editor and sound designer.
That's right.
For the Onyx film. I can show them you for a second if you don't mind, and your setup.
Yeah,
is that
sure,
cool?
Sure.
Since Onyx is the only one on screen. Hey, that's Mike Gallagher. For those that know some of the other shorts, gosh, we started working together. Well, we knew each other from Break, but was Monster Machine? Yeah, Break Media. And I was an editor, and you were the post suit, right?
Yeah.
And then was the first thing that you sound designed the Monster Machine short?
Yeah. Which was super intense.
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah. I remember, not to just talk about this all night, but I just remember like how shitty I felt some of the mechanics worked on the little machine. I was so worried on the day. And then I remember hearing your sound design of the machine.
Right.
And I was like, oh, the machine's great.
Yeah.
Just because the sound just, it changes everything.
Well, the funniest thing was there was a tape, like a VHS tape would fall into a tube.
Yeah.
And you were like, I have that tube if you need that, like to make sound with it. And I was like, I'm good.
Totally.
A million sound effects for that.
I know. I think back then I still thought like everything was still kind of based in the reality of how it was shot. Mm-hmm. Like you gotta get that tube for that. But then all the sounds were so much bigger, beefier. It made the machine sound like it was a much bigger production than it.
Yeah, they go down a little rail, like they go down a little conveyor belt. Or whatever. I had like a xylophone going. You can do anything you want.
Yeah, and I mean, and then we've done a bunch of stuff, but recently like Little Willie, Worm.
Yeah. The
green shit, which was the short that I mean.
I really like those like 2-minute things that you've done. That has been a lot of fun. I can put a lot of work into those.
Right.
The green shit and ASMR. Like
the ASMR.
People haven't watched those. They should watch those. Those are really fun.
Yeah. But this is arguably the biggest project we've worked on together.
100%.
100%.
Oh yeah.
And but it's so cool to, I mean, similarly, like there's sounds that I was concerned about on the day that I'm realizing like, just don't matter because they're replaced. Like last night we were talking about how beefy all the doors sound. And I remember being frustrated, even though I know when we shot, you closed Bartok's study and it had an okay sound. And in my mind, I'm like, Gallagher's going to do something different. Mm-hmm. But then when you actually hear what you've done, it sounds so grand.
Yeah.
And Haunted Mansion-y.
Right.
It's not, it's so weird. It even like affects my memory of the location.
Right.
Like the location when I was there kind of felt like a museum and the doors didn't really slam in a big foreboding way.
Right.
But now it's starting to take on the personality of a haunted mansion.
For sure. And there's like the door sounds that are actually in those effects, like the sound effects that I use, are a very small part of that. I mean, it's just these massive like wood impacts,
right?
Crazy like sliding wood scraping sounds, stuff like that. 75% of it isn't even a door in the first place.
Right, exactly.
Making it massive. Yeah.
Well, there was something. Well, a lot of the people that join the stream kind of know the basic story of the movie. There's a ritual that involves this book, and last night you were showing me the scene where Olivia's character. Olivia, by the way, is out of town, but she might join the stream. Yeah, she might. But you showed me those moments of Olivia's character opening the book for each of the other characters. And it's like, yeah, there's book sounds, but then there were so many different, I don't know what you'd call those, like little rushes or, you know, swells and wind even, and there's some animal sounds.
And everybody knows the story, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And can we talk about some of those things? Like,
I'm fine to talk about absolutely everything from the movie. I'm not trying to avoid spoilers on our channel. Yeah.
Well, yeah, during the spotting session, so when me and Bowser went through the movie and we're just talking about what sounds go where and what, Bowser's thinking about this scene and that. I think the only note there was like, oh, we want the book to sound old and have that spine cracking sound.
Yeah.
But then when I'm actually doing the sound effects, there's such big moments when Olivia is like showing the book to everybody.
Yeah.
That it started sneaking in some animal sounds and bass whooshes and things like that. And yeah. So that was definitely a surprise. It was something we did not talk about.
Totally. And also there's ways that Mike is adding to the humor. Like I didn't think about, I think everybody knows this joke. All these characters in the movie find out that they're actually these like, one's a werewolf, one's a queen, one's a Viking. And then the joke is Onyx just finds out he's a virgin. And every time she opens the book to show Mr. Duke that he's a werewolf and Jessamine that she's a queen, there's a big sound with it. Yeah. And then it gets to Onyx and it's just this little like, just the book is,
pathetic,
right, which is a joke that isn't in the script. And now that moment is even funnier, which I love. I mean, I love all the elements of watching you do what you do, but it's really exciting when there's a new joke because of the sound design.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's
even
just
the knife cutting right before that.
Right.
Again, I don't know if you want to talk about everything.
Oh, I don't care. I would.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody gets their hand cut so they can bleed on the book, and they sound. It sounds like they're getting their hand cut, and it sounds scary. But then when it gets to Onyx, it sounds like even worse.
It sounds like she's murdering him.
Right. It sounds like she's purposefully like digging in deeper into Onyx's skin, and he's like, oh, fuck. So I don't know. There's just so many ways sound design can heighten things. And it's fun to find, especially for this movie, how it can heighten the comedy of it.
And it's really fun to find those moments, too.
Yeah.
I do a lot of stuff. We'll look at it tonight, actually, where I can do things off screen. So once you go off screen, I can do whatever I want. So I'll add sounds and different little, like, anxious things that you do.
Yeah,
so
totally.
Those are fun moments to as well.
Well, so basically what we've been doing, we're going through the reels of the movie, and Mike's showing me like what work he's done so far, and I'm giving feedback, and we're just discussing what could or should or shouldn't change. So I thought I would just live stream while we worked through this next reel. I'm not gonna be able to show you all the movie. You'll just be watching me and listening to our conversation, but I thought it could still be interesting. We'll see. And if you're not interested, you can sign the fuck on.
Hopefully we can engage them. I mean, look,
totally.
If somebody asks a question or something, and
that's true. If anybody does have a question,
me,
if anybody has a question for Mike, throw it out, and I can interrupt him, and we'll talk. So, all right. Sig. Did you turn the AC off?
Yes. It is nice and chilly in here now.
Tis.
70 degrees, if anyone's curious.
That's the first question they ask.
I know. How cold is it?
Yeah. All right. So y'all, I might ignore you for pieces of time, but we're chilling. So we're starting reel 4.
Reel 4.
Yes.
Which is Onyx looking through the hole.
Yeah, Onyx is trapped behind the wall, looking out into Bartok's study.
Yeah, and it's pretty intense. Sound design wise, because you're constantly shifting perspective.
Right.
From behind the wall. So first question right off the bat is just like, you kind of talked about behind the wall sounding like a cave.
Oh yeah.
So I snuck a little water in there, some droplets, but I didn't know if we wanted it to sound like a vacuum.
Right.
Or maybe have a little of that like dank life to it.
Yeah.
So check that out.
Oh yeah, I love that. Talk about beefy door sounds. I love that.
Yeah. That was a distant beefy door sound.
Yeah.
So that's a little less. But it was also,
Ooh, that's great. A little magical.
All the knife and on stuff is not in it. Except this.
Yeah. Is there anything there that's, and forgive me if it is there, but that's almost like a breath or something organic for the Talisman going in?
I was going to ask you about that in general, but also, is there going to be VFX there?
Not yet. There won't be VFX until it starts to glow.
Okay.
When it first gets put in, yeah, when it first gets put in, nothing glows, nothing happens. But I was just thinking like, nothing as overt as, you know, click, oh, not like that.
Right.
But if there was just like a,
yeah.
Some sepooky.
There might be some stuff like that, but I think it's more leading up to it. And then
Right.
So you almost want the opposite.
I think so.
So but do we want anything leading up, but maybe shorter and then have the?
Yes, totally. Because I do like there being some build up, but I think, yeah, it should almost be bigger on the back end because it's like these two artifacts that have been separated are now being rejoined and together they have power.
So how are you feeling about all these perspective changes?
I love all that.
It's another thing too. You know, we might lose that if music is very loud.
Right.
So it's good for you to know.
Yeah.
How delicate.
Yeah.
Those perspective changes are, and also how much it adds to the pacing.
Oh, totally.
Like it just makes everything feel faster.
Because it almost sounds like it's like underwater or something.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is that everything that's going to be from the POV of Onyx?
Yeah.
Through the hole is futzed.
Yeah, I like that.
And you'll hear that later because I did some tests. You'll hear like it kind of sounds like they're in a seashell.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I like that.
It makes it really interesting.
Yeah.
It's also cool because Bartok will say a line in its futz and he'll continue the sentence in full fidelity.
Unfutzed. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds really nice. I'm playing with rumbles. I don't know if we were supposed to have Ferris sensing something.
Yeah.
That one's a little abstract.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like, do we decide that like her psychic powers are just rumbles in general, or do we try to decide on like a very specific sound or rumble that is her psychic powers? That might get repetitive, I guess.
No, it won't get. I think it also has to do with just like is music and a theme is going to theme.
True.
That.
Right. Yeah.
Is that a thematic thing?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the main points we should maybe have some rumbles to highlight it. But I'm not doing anything tonal because again, the thematic musical element.
And that's true. Farrah, there probably will be something musically for when she senses things or her powers.
Yeah, and again, we can kind of maybe hit on those details later on in the process.
Yeah.
Once more things are taking shape. Well, there's gonna be a lot of cricket stuff in the background here.
Oh yeah.
What's also cool is the crickets are gonna be fuzzed as well.
That's great. So that will be a big glow.
Okay.
That'll be like the Talisman kind of truly waking up.
Okay. Anything else we were talking about? Other effects?
No, I think this will just be a better glow than that. It's just such a LED
But I can pretty much follow the practical.
Yeah, I think it might go on and come off. Does it come off in this shot or does it stay on? I think it will go on and then. So I think it'll just glow and then deglow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You got to separate that from the glow of the Peridot.
Right. Right. I will say this.
Maybe some soul, like breathy.
Yeah, like this. And not that Farrah's power isn't evil, but the Talisman, I think, could be like scarier. You know, it's
yeah. The Paradox stuff was like inviting,
right.
Magical.
The Talisman is more like Indiana Jones. Like you could use this thing for bad. Yeah.
Is that kind of what you were feeling as far as she knocking?
She is knocking. That's great for the knock.
Even in the temp.
Oh yeah, okay. It should be though, without a doubt. And I can't tell if there needs to be something more of her like drawing her in, but is that probably what that little hiss is?
It was not a hiss, but like a little
metal shine.
But it's more of a sketch.
Yeah. I think something should be there because she is like drawing Jessminder close, but I don't dislike anything about what's there.
I'll sweeten it with something.
Yeah.
Yeah, here, I thought that was Fuds.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just see Bart.
I think that's the beefy story yet, by the way.
That's great.
And it's there's a perspective change in the visual, so you can hear it.
Yeah.
I'll just see Bart.
And I think, and not that you're not doing this, but just to make sure we're on the same page, anytime we're in these close-ups, we're not from Onyx's POV. Onyx's POV is just through the hole.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Got it.
Did you hear something Fox or anything?
No. Okay. No, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, I definitely, this was just full of markers. I mean, like every time it switched back.
Yeah. Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, so he delivers that line. I really upped the reverb on it, almost like it was a musical sting.
Yeah.
Kind of Blade Runner-y.
Totally. Oh yeah, I love that. Feels like something scary is about to happen. Did you have a crystal sound on the glowing crystal at the door?
That, again, that's real 2.
Yeah, you'll bring it over.
So I put them all in. I wanted to make sure you approved that one first.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
It is all culminated into this.
It sounds so much creepier.
Yeah, and I have I saved the preset for that because I have to do it on the dial. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Felt like I needed highlighting?
Totally. Oh yeah.
You dig the
yeah, the wind.
Seashell kind of.
Oh yeah.
The country girl moment up front.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah.
And I gotta remember, I think it's on the ADR list to have Jessminder make a noise from behind the door, because that's probably what makes Farah turn. It's got to be on my ADR list though. A scream or a whimper. Yeah.
It also makes stabs and hits just sound worse.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Is whenever somebody reacts.
Reel 4, 31005. I'm gonna check that.
Right.
I want to make sure I have it on my ADR list.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like enough because I was wondering even if I should have had some kind of unreal bass sound to her stabbing to get Farah's attention.
Right.
Which could also happen.
What did we say? Reel 4.
That's it. Sorry, did you need a?
I should write that down because I didn't have it on my ADR list.
I have it right here.
3039.
Yeah, and I'm just making this little scratch list down here. So 4, 3.
So someone asked a question, where do these sounds come from?
I have a massive sound effects library that I've been building over 15 years. I also have a relationship with Pro Sound Effects.
Yeah.
Which is a really good company. I basically own all their stuff. I edit all their commercials and everything.
Yeah.
Which I've had to stop doing recently, but
right.
Yeah. But anyway.
I was gonna just tell people that they should look at your in-depth sound videos.
Yeah.
Because Mike makes these videos that like break down sound design from some of, you know, the most
Jurassic
famous.
Park, Terminator 2, Star Wars.
And they're really interesting.
And it's broken down by the actual sound designers themselves.
Yeah.
So it's from the horse's mouth.
Is the easiest way for people to just search in-depth sound design?
Yeah, in-depth sound design.
On YouTube or Instagram.
For sure.
Yeah.
Or my name, Mike James Gallagher.
Yeah. They're really interesting. It helps people understand just how much goes into sound design. Like when you break it down like that, it's like, yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people do just think it's the sound effects. I mean,
right.
The fact that people are hearing this conversation right now, so much of it happens just like
right.
when you're trying to interpret what you want, what your vision is.
Yeah.
I think people miss that part.
Right.
Lot, even from watching those videos.
Right. Yeah. I know it's not as simple as like plug and play.
Yeah.
On any level.
But I mean, I have a program called SoundMiner where I just type in. I mean, all day I'm typing in wood impact.
Right.
Glow sounds or ringing.
Fart
glass.
Sounds. Yeah.
There's a few fart sounds for sure.
Yeah.
I actually did use some fart sounds.
Yeah.
Knife cutting.
That's great.
So yeah. This is.
Yeah, that's good.
But of course, there's gonna be magic happening there.
We totally.
We
just don't know exactly what. Yeah.
So I just had some nice bleeding. It sounds gross and intense.
Yeah. So one thing that's going to be clutch is that during that scene, like what we just skipped past, the dagger sucking up the soul, she's turning into a ghoul. And so much of that is going to have to be sold through sound design because there's really only going to be one shot of her face getting like veins growing, maybe the color draining from her face. But the biggest thing is, and I was telling our VFX soup this, I know it's quick how soon she goes from human to ghoul, but we don't want it to be funny that it's that quick. So we do want to sell it. So I think between like the bridging VFX shot, the dagger glowing and the electricity from the dagger, but we should be hearing like her skin.
I was going to say shriveling.
And, yeah. And I did for ADR, there is like whimpers and kind of like soul stuff.
That's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Just getting some of those
transformation
vocals.
Right. To where hopefully by the time we see her as a ghoul and it's a puppet, we actually kind of buy that we got there. I know it's still probably too quick, but we can at least try to sell it.
Yeah.
As opposed to it being like funny that it's that quick.
And I'll just be honest, I never.
It didn't bother you?
No,
that's good.
I think, honestly, you got plenty of time.
Yeah, I think so.
Don't worry about that. And then there's nice.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you're really. Yeah, there's plenty of time to hear some whimpers and shriveling and.
Yeah.
You sent me some good references.
Oh yeah. Sounds. From Life Force and Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah, where she's asking her, "Why do you eat brains?"
Yeah.
It's funny. It's you think it's funny. It's actually pretty well done. As
I know
the creep vibe on that, even though it's like kind of funny.
That's why I like that scene when they're like getting to the bottom of why they eat brains and shit, like because of the pain that she feels. Yeah. I think it fucking
and the
rips.
voice is even just like, oh, I couldn't hear.
Totally.
Oh, it's like some of that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's what was in my head, and then I didn't realize it until I went searching for some references. I like closed my eyes and like, what am I seeing? And then I remember seeing that scene and Life Force, which is full of shrunken, shriveled up zombie people.
Yeah, no, that's something to be fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like whipping away from them.
Yeah, that's fun.
So yeah, let me get down this
shrivel note.
Okay.
Oh, God damn it. So many fucking cobwebs.
We'd also talk about bug scattering. I haven't quite done that yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for as soon as he's kind of in these cavernous hallways to be. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
I think that should just be full on spook 'em ups.
Like you mean from the beginning of the video?
No,
Or just this?
just this. Once he turns into
Okay.
if he's in a cobwebby hallway, we're hearing bugs. Yeah. I
In
was.
the moment where you whip away.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would scare a lot of bugs for sure.
Oh, totally. And also, it just goes from him being scared from this to like scary sounds right behind him. It should feel like.
I'm curious, can people hear me?
Yeah, can people hear Mike when he responds? Let me know in chat. And I'd be up for. We don't want it to sound too crazy, but even more cobwebby sounds.
Even more cobwebs? Okay.
Yeah,
I
just.
thought I overdid it.
No, I don't think so.
I can do more.
Because I wish there was more cobwebs on the day, so I'm hoping we can.
Because I was worried that they sounded too wet. Because cobwebs are kind of dry, but it's kind of harder to dry.
I know. No, I liked how they sounded.
So,
Yeah.
there can be some fresh ones in there.
Totally. These just came out of a spider's butt. I can tell by the wetness. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a FaceTime from Olivia Taylor.
Hi.
Oh, that's hilarious. Hey, Olivia.
Dudley, are you willing to be live on the stream?
Oh, are you watching?
Yeah. What do you mean? Am I live on the stream right now?
Yeah.
Sick.
Do you want me to
I just want to make... What?
Do you want me to show you to the stream?
Sure, I don't care.
What up? Say hi.
Hi, stream.
What were you calling about?
I was calling about the cobweb sound.
What about the cobweb
What does it
sound?
sound like? Because I can't hear it. When I just tuned into the stream really quick, I couldn't hear it, but does it sound like that cotton candy sound?
Wait, check it out.
It is kind of cotton candy.
Hold on.
See if you can hear it on my phone.
No, I'm gonna
Amp it up.
let's see here. All right, let's see how this is.
Could you hear that?
A little bit. It's so hard on this.
I love when he crashes through that cabinet.
It's pretty
Just
funny.
the cobwebs is like one of my favorite jokes in the movie.
I know.
I just wanted to know what it sounds like. Maybe you can just record it and send me a video because I am curious what it sounds
Well,
like.
I like
will.
your cotton candy. I'm actually gonna search for cotton candy right now and see if.
Yeah.
That's what I always imagined was like cotton candy being pulled apart.
Totally. I think
my only word. So the way that I'm thinking of that is that music is going to be going for sure. That's like an adventure moment. So you need something to cut through, and like a cotton sound isn't quite going to do it.
Right.
So it's a little stickier sounding than maybe cotton candy would sound.
Right. Because no doubt there will be like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Which is something that chat may find interesting is that you have to keep score in mind prior to us having score because like you had talked about, there's some tonal rumbles
The knife of Dagon is
when the
tonal.
knife is shown, and for all we know, the composer might be playing a note that just neutralizes that.
Clashes it.
Yeah, or clashes with it. So that's something that we've been discussing as we go. I'll try to get a little video of you being able to hear those spider webbies.
Okay.
Okay.
I won't keep bothering you. I'll keep watching the stream then. Because since we're not Zooming tonight, I'll just be doing it over the stream.
That's true. That's true. You're not bothering me though. Feel free to chime in when Evs.
Okay. I'll keep watching.
All right. Cool. Bye.
Yeah, and that's all an attempt to score-wise. It's all an attempt that it's like wasting my time on certain elements.
Right.
But you also kind of want to keep it covered just in case you on stage, on the mix stage, are
Right.
like, just cut the music out. I just want to hear the sound effects.
And then there's
I'm
nothing there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
But this is fun right here. Let me make sure I'm not gonna blow my head off. So.
And then we had talked about there being something scary when he sees the mannequin head.
Yeah,
Like
so that was another kind of music thing.
That's true.
Where I'm
Could
like,
be
I
just
know
music.
music's gonna highlight that, and I can easily put in.
That's
Sting
true.
To sweeten whatever music happens.
Yeah.
So I've definitely got these moments saved where I'm like, I'll wait to the end for that stuff.
Cool.
Unless you just really want me to mock something up.
No, I think you're right. That probably would be a little music sting.
It's such a moment. I mean, the camera's zooming in right on it. Yeah.
That's great.
What are y'all doing in here? Mr. Duke is just trying to write down everything. Oh, I was wondering how there's a little button on the side. So that, yeah, but just off and then back on again. It's so cute. Oh, I love the mechanics of these vintage lamps.
I don't know why that makes me laugh. That might be something that only makes me laugh. But.
No, it's definitely funny. I also, I don't know if you like this or not, but I took advantage of cutting away for you to kind of do a manic.
Oh, totally.
Manic little thing.
No, I like that.
It also breaks up the moment and kind of keeps it moving forward.
No, I like that. There's a little quick.
Off and then back on again. It's so cute.
Yeah, oh yeah.
On and back on.
Totally. No, that's funny.
I did some fun stuff like that with the cigarette. See?
Yeah. No, that's good. Even off camera, he's very anxious.
Why did they really bring us here?
Oh, love that.
Yeah.
Marcus, are you sure you saw what you think you saw? Marcus, do you think you can draw what that looked like?
Yes, sir.
This is all
I
like
feel like I'm
Foley.
gonna vomit my entrails out.
I heightened that. Felt like it needed a.
Yeah, I think I like that.
I read before, and I feel like I'm gonna vomit my entrails out.
Yeah, I think so.
Something a little more coffee.
The what?
In the grimoire. After
Is
the
this the boxing?
I don't think it would. Oh, yeah, I guess it would be. Because the end of reel 4 is flashback and stuff. Yeah.
I'm actually surprised we're already at the boxing.
I know, because for me, I keep, and this is wrong, but when we're at the box demon, I'm like, oh dang, movie's almost over. But it's just, I consider the box demon to be like you're over the, the rest of it is like, way.
Definitely.
It's the, I don't know what the word would be, but
I mean, it really picks up at that point.
yeah, and it's like the emotional.
Yeah, it's a huge, massive turning point.
Yeah.
For you. Yeah. So doors.
More doors. Oh, did you do anything during her explanation of the box demon?
No, that's why I was asking you that yesterday, I think.
Oh, that's another big part right there.
Ooh, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, like I don't know if we should do something dreamy because it is. She starts looking right into camera.
Well, I do something over here with a similar angle.
Yeah.
I guess I just skipped all this. Thinking it was all Foley and music.
There might be some fun stuff because it should feel a little trippy.
Oh yeah, and we get there. Let me play this stuff for you, and then I'll kind of like
fold it back in.
Probably put it on there.
Yeah.
Nice smash the door.
Love it.
And we can tweak creeps and stuff like that. I know they're pretty loud there. Nice door there too. But again,
oh yeah,
this is that's a thinner door, so it's not gonna be as massive. All the bedroom door sound. I don't know if people realize, anybody's watching this, how big of a deal doors are in sound effects.
Yeah.
And whenever you're watching a movie or anything, it's just such a huge undertaking.
Right. I mean, and they all have sounded different so far too.
Every door is different. Yeah.
I might turn the camera around just because this is like 3 shots in a row that are just Onyx, so I could show them this. I know it's just a door opening.
You want me to play it?
Yeah. Could you play it from him coming in?
Is this exclusive?
It's exclusive. It's a screw. We just can't show any other actors, but so if you play it from here, I'll turn it around once it's just Onyx.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm not showing it yet.
Okay. Here we go.
All right, you can go ahead. And then Foley will do all the footsteps, just so people know.
God damn it! How are all these cobwebs at exactly mouth level?
Yeah, that's so much better.
Hear the cobweb.
Uh-huh.
I can do that louder too. It sounds like you want cobweb even louder.
I think the cobwebs should take center stage.
Okay.
And I bet you Olivia agrees.
Cool. Because yeah, when he's in the dresser, you can hear the cobwebs.
And again, like, I think we can hear bugs. I think.
Oh, even in the dresser?
I think.
No, that's fun. That's
once
fun.
we start to hear them, yeah. Once we start to hear cobwebs, we start to hear bugs. Because it's like, it's one of those times where I think we can have cartoon logic.
Oh, yeah, I know all about cartoon logic.
Yeah. What were we saying yesterday that was cartoon logic? Oh, hearing like the big muscle car when you see Tanner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, Olivia was watching, right?
Yeah. The note for a muscle car might have come from Olivia. At least I know she was on board for anything muscle car related. Yeah, that stuff sounded great though. None of that's the original cabinet, right? That creak and that latch.
Zero.
And all. Yeah.
So later on in later reels, I did not do the dresser. I'm going to just kind of bring those sounds over.
Yeah. Because also if there's bugs, it feels more personal. Like they're like, he's back. They're like, they're going to get him, which makes me laugh.
Yeah, those are fun, tiny little sounds to do.
Yeah.
Those sound really nice.
And I bet you Temple of Doom's a good reference.
You know, you think until you go to watch it, and you're like,
and there's no bug sounds. Yeah.
That's a Foley sound I did. That's a good example of something I'll do because it's just not going to be that bassy, but I want it to just whack that.
Yeah. But then Foley might do some of the digging.
Oh, they'll do all that. So that's the last thing that I want to sound edit is like a lot of like really tiny things.
Yeah.
But once I get that, I'll sweeten it. And it's a lot easier to sweeten than it is to like perform.
Yeah. That's great.
It's a little cartoony. Edgar Wright. I think Edgar Wright, David Fincher.
Yeah.
Those are the aesthetics. So yeah, this door opens and closes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Love it.
7 times. And everyone is different, cut differently. We'll just start getting similarities. I'm gonna play back to back for you. You're just gonna know like they're all kind of the same.
Yeah. Oh, and then on his run back, I don't know if there should be any bugs or not. I mean, he is moving through cobwebs, but there's no cobweb joke. So I don't know if we need should any of this, unless this is going to be ADR. All I have in there now is me going, gotta get back for the box demon. Gotta get back for the box demon. But I could put in something regarding the bugs. He could be like, how many
Oh, you could put anything.
goddamn bugs? The bugs are in my mouth. I don't know.
Yeah, that's up to you.
Yeah, maybe I would do a bug joke there.
Another thing we could play with is the ground wet? Is the ground sticky?
Right.
Is there a different sound of the footsteps in the cave?
Yeah.
Kind of, it's a Foley thing, but if we don't give Foley that note, they're not going to do it.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is take the Foley and then sweeten the footsteps with water, stickiness, whatever.
Yeah.
That's easier for me to do. So think about that. We can do that later.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Because it's Blade Runner Sting again.
Oh yeah, because now he's in the. Yeah, I love all that.
So that's what I was maybe wondering what you were thinking. But again, whatever I do there, that was kind of a sketch just to give you an idea.
Yeah.
Of what I was feeling for that moment.
Yeah.
And something you could think about when music starts coming in.
Yeah, but I think something like that.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure. All tonal.
And it feels like labyrinth. You know, it feels kind of magic-y.
That was purposefully very labyrinth,
Yeah.
like modern labyrinth.
Totally.
Kind of like there's no sense in it. It's all organic sounds.
Yeah.
But it sounds like labyrinth stuff.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I dig that stuff. Again, with the chimes and the shimmers, like you don't really want to reinvent the wheel for that. That stuff is classic.
Yeah, totally. Can I see that one more time? The door opening. You know what's nice is sound helps hide my own continuity error. Do you see my continuity error? I open the door with a hand on each door, and then when it's the reverse, it's just my right hand.
I never noticed.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Because I was mad at myself.
It's half obscured, so.
It is half obscured. Do we hear any, there's technically like a metal bar too.
All that stuff is in there.
Okay.
So, let's see, I put mechanical latches. So again,
Oh yeah. Even if there was maybe a little metal, well, I guess that's what that would, wait, play it all?
Together?
Yeah. Almost just wish I heard like a little before the big sound, like
a little beat.
A little beat of the metal bar.
The latches?
Yeah, because what it is it's like a bar that's it's actually like attached.
I did it in the sizzle.
Oh yeah.
And that was really slow. You did the metal bars first.
That's right.
Yeah, I could actually take them from the sizzle. But here, watch. I'll just do this, and let's see what you think.
Yeah, I think I want to hear like a. I'm so bad at using the right language.
Metal creek, yeah, no.
More of like a, like a metal
creek
or gate, like something.
Yeah, metal creek.
Yeah, like I unlatched a bar and moved a bar before.
It's funny. That's exactly what I did in the sizzle. I could actually take those sounds.
That's probably even why I'm thinking of hearing it, because it was in the sizz. Any questions in chat? Sorry, I keep telling people I'm going to pay attention, and then I'm not paying attention to chat. Oh, here's a good question. No, they're not upset. Are there any sounds that have been added as nods to other films? Well, we just talked about there being a cute, a sound designy moment that kind of sounds like something from Labyrinth.
Yeah, I think everything I've done is like another movie.
I don't think we haven't fully. I thought about this the other day, and what was it? We haven't fully just like lifted something from another movie and put it in as an Easter egg. I don't even know that that's allowed.
No, but think about Monster Machine. That's a really good example. I won't say it, but we did The Thing.
Yeah.
And I recreated a sound from The Thing.
Yeah.
And I used a sink draining.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was cool. It was the upside down arachnid head.
Totally.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
There is, once we're in the finale.
And I did Gremlins. I did Gremlin voice for the Gremlins
totally.
too. I did the burp and everything.
Yeah.
At the end of Monster Machine. Sorry, they should watch Monster Machine.
They should watch Monster Machine. There's a in the finale, Olivia's character says "Klaatu Varakta Nikto."
Oh yeah,
which is
Journey
from. Am I
wrong in that?
Oh my gosh.
Is it
Day the Earth Stood Still.
Is it the Day? Yeah, my bad.
Right, and then Evil Dead. So I wonder if there's any. I don't know what you could do. If there's any nods to Evil Dead around when she says that, but I don't know what it would be.
I mean, the first thing my other co-supervisor, Anthony Venturi, the first thing he said about the ghouls was Evil Dead 2.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you got like the laughing and some of that stuff. And,
totally.
So that was definitely on the table. We keep making.
I'll your soul.
Yeah. I keep making the reference, and this is more of a loose, indirect reference to the gong at the beginning of Gremlins.
Yeah.
As like just kind of a bonkers sound moment.
Yeah.
That just goes on by and you don't even really notice it. But if you're like really thinking about it, that they're in the store and he looks at the statue or something.
Yeah. And you just
hear a gong.
Right.
And it's just like, that's such like a Looney Tunes thing.
It is a Looney Tunes thing. Yeah.
And I'm all about that stuff. It just makes it more fun and colorful.
Yeah. And I think we'll find other spots for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no Wilhelm scream in there.
No, and that's fully debatable whether people want to
right. Yeah.
jump on that train.
I know.
They did a cool thing in The Force Awakens where there's a TIE fighter that gets shot, and the sound of the TIE fighter engine is the Wilhelm scream.
Oh, that's
disguised So that's a good idea of like how to kind of hide it and be creative
Bury
about
it a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So, as far as references go, I think everything is kind of a reference. The cicadas.
Oh yeah, cicadas. We talk about
Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead a lot because of all the cicada sounds.
I'll be thinking about that when we show some stuff. I'm always thinking about movies. Oh yeah, I remember my guide doesn't have.
I know. I don't know how that stuff got dropped.
Some of it's in there.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Magical scenes.
Oh yeah. Can it sound even wetter?
Yeah, I was debating. Yeah, for sure. Wetter. But I was also debating squeakier, like a pew.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, cuter.
I'm down for cuter and wetter.
This is pretty bare. We talked about doing labyrinth magical sounds on this.
Yeah.
I kind of started off by giving you that little thing right there, but I wasn't sure, like, this would start getting in. Remember I played you that random foghorn sound I made? We're starting to get into an area where that would kind of be cool, but again,
totally.
Might be wasting my time as far as score goes.
I don't know, because part of me thinks through these really earnest moments, like him praying on the bed in the beginning and something like this, there might not be score.
You could do really cool stuff by like not having music and just having texture.
Because I do really like that weird foghorn thing. And then pretty soon we're going to be into the Battle Cats theme. And so I don't know that I'd want score like bumping up to that.
Yeah.
You know, you probably want him. I think it's nice if this feels empty.
Atmospheric and magical.
Totally.
And that would be really fun to make that soundscape.
Yeah.
Just look at that shot. I mean,
yeah.
The shot is so in your head.
Yeah, exactly. And then kind of out of that, you'll hear the Battle Cats. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the Battle Cats comes into it. So you're right.
Have you watched this since we retimed the Out of Nose?
Oh, yeah, I did all the sound work.
Did you like the retiming?
Yeah, I mean, you can maybe... it needs to be evaluated as far as, yes, I did.
You don't have to say
But there's a pause that could you... I don't know if it feels like dead space.
Totally. I think I know what you're
talking about. But I haven't put any backgrounds into it yet.
We took out an I don't know, and we were like, it messed with it rhythmically, but we thought it kind of sounded more organic. And I just left it because I was like, whatever this is sounds right to me right now. I'm just going to leave it. But we also can bring the child in for ADR and just, you know.
If you need one more.
If we need one more, or if we want to just do it as ADR.
Like the whole thing.
Yeah, because they are chopped and switched around.
I
and
see.
It was
more variation.
Yeah, and maybe we could get it sounding more like a cohesive climb instead of an edited climb. But
again, didn't bug me. But like I said, I haven't put backgrounds in, and there's the Battle Cats show going on in the background. So I feel like with all that stuff, maybe a pause is okay. But it's such an easy thing to fix, even on the day that we're mixing.
Yeah.
So it's also a little thing you put in and mute, and then feel it out.
You mean fix in the sense that we can add an I don't know or take out?
Add an I don't know. You know.
Yeah.
We still have to record the ADR. But, it's such an easy thing to do late in the game.
When will you be back?
So we talked about that being like a signature sound or whatever. It sounds to me, sounds so much worse if the door just sounds like a door.
Totally.
So
wait, so what are you saying?
That is a regular old, I mean, it's, you know.
And you're saying it should sound like something more than that?
No.
Oh, it shouldn't.
No, we talked about it being a signature sound.
We talked about
it. Sounds more menial and tragic, and
that it's just kind of normal.
That's just kind of normal.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's brutal, like if it had like a reverb on it or something, or a big creak, like it almost takes away from. It almost sounds too dreamy. Like I want to.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, you don't want it to sound. This should feel like this is what happened.
And brutal.
And brutal. Yeah, can you play it one more
Matter
time?
of fact, like.
When will you be back? Oh no, the timer.
That's true. Yeah, it just sounds sad.
It just sounds
And then
a
it's
lot
just
sadder.
the TV. Yeah. No, I think you're right.
And it's a huge contrast with all the massive doors from the mansion.
Yeah.
We're just in this depressing world. There's no magic.
No.
Even though we're in a hallucination dream.
Yeah.
It feels just so real and bad.
Incoming message from Olivia. She says she thinks keeping it more grounded with the door is more brutal, the way a kid would remember. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I think you're both right.
Really? Was it your instinct when you saw it, though?
My instinct when I saw it was that it should be bigger. But then when you replayed it and hearing what comes right after it, which is just like the distant Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want something big and epic echoing over that.
Yeah.
You know, you want it to just feel empty and stagnant.
It's
so
gone.
yeah,
It's
totally.
over. Yeah.
Totally. So I do think, as of right now, I agree.
And you know I can make a big door. You know it's not.
Yeah.
It's not a limitation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really all I did in that area. So there's going to be a lot of sound design that goes on in the scene with the futzing and backgrounds and everything, but I really just hit the button on that.
Yeah.
And I actually am wondering, background-wise, if we wanted to feel kind of bare. Because we hear the argument going on. We hear the TV.
Yeah.
Do we really want birds? Do we really want?
I don't know. I guess I initially did picture the street.
Still want to hear that?
But I don't know that I do, really. I guess it should feel a little more contained because it's his little boy memory.
Yeah.
He's not going to remember necessarily someone like blowing leaves outside. He doesn't even watch his dad across the room. He's just staring at the TV.
Yeah.
So it probably should just be very interior.
The thing is, I'm telling you all this, I'm still going to put some options
Totally.
for you.
But yes, I don't think it has to have a big presence.
As I was doing the doors, I was just like, man, this needs to feel just like lonely.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. And it'll sound a lot better whenever he's like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I got that kind of annoying, like, door slamming in the face type feel.
Oh, yeah.
You got the metal clacking and everything.
That's good. Love it.
That was Reel 4, man.
Reel 4, down. Here's one of the best compliments we could get. This is like 2007 YouTube video quality.
What's that?
Meaning my camera. It's
with
because
low light.
with low light.
It's even worse with low light.
It's because we're in low light and it's my MacBook Pro camera. Everybody chill. Also, we all know that when I bring my Logitech Brio for streams, it always fucking stops working. And I have to restart the stream. Oh yeah, those beers were in the fridge.
No problem with this being cold. Maybe it'll have a little ice in it.
Yeah, that's fine. And just so you know, just be warned, I think these are like 9%ers.
Woo.
I just want you to know so you're not surprised.
Good.
Oh,
There you go. Here's a nice
thank you.
koozie.
Ooh, a little koozie.
Real big on koozies.
Do you have your
Oh yeah.
I didn't bring mine in my pocket. Oh, I should check in on my cat cams. Oh,
Reel
thank
4
you.
rap party.
Oh yeah. We did it, Reel 4.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Any other questions or anything? Or?
Yeah, any other questions from chat? Oh, Tom has a question about my podcast, Bizarre States. I'll just answer it quickly. There's no current plans, but Jess just texted the other day. We're still talking. Any other questions?
Does it keep the chat from the top, or does it start deleting stuff?
It keeps it. You can scroll up. I'm trying to see. I feel like I've missed some questions. Are the recorded screams of the damned used in the film? Yes. Yes. Well, we'll keep trucking, and I'll keep the stream going. We can crack into Reel 5. Reel 5's is that a beefy one? Reel 5 is the forgotten reel to me. I always forget.
It's so funny. I don't remember either.
I know where Reel 4 ends just because we did an edit within it recently. But Reel 5, I know Reel 5 starts with me coming out of the box demon room. Oh, and then Reel 5 ends with the beer's pretty intense. The Reel 5 ends with does Reel 5 get us through Meatloaf? Or
Reel 5.
Does it get through Meat Hut?
It must.
Or does it stop?
Because Reel 6 is so short.
Reel 6 is super short.
I think it does. I think it gets through everything. Abaddon.
You think? And then it ends with the wake up from the nightmare. I don't remember.
Good questions.
And then Reel 6 is basically from the wake up through
the trashing the study.
Yeah. So that's why it's so short.
Yeah.
Something like that. Any other questions? We're restarting Pro Tools.
Pro Tools crashed.
The Grammy Boy update is that he is still out. Do people remember that he got out? And that we saw him 2 days ago? I have 4 traps, now 7 cameras, wide shots, close-ups on the different traps. I flyered my street today, asking all of my neighbors not to feed him if they see him, because we think he's getting food somewhere else. And that's why he's not walking into the traps. But I swear to God, I'm catching this cat. Right now, I mean, I've got my little cat cams showing the traps. Somebody said, whose job is it to place in the score? So the score will be sent to us, and you'll place it in when we do our pre-mix.
Yeah.
And then when we're doing our final mix, say we're watching a moment and we're like, ooh, maybe let's take out the score here or take out the horns here.
Yeah.
Who will do it in that moment?
The re-recording mixer. The
re-recording mixer. And can I even get as detailed as, like you were saying yesterday?
Unless we have a music editor.
I don't know if we do.
So
they have a music editor in Nashville, but I don't know that.
No. They won't stage
music
editor.
Right.
We would usually, like, I just got off a movie and it was me, the sound designer, sound editor, the supervising sound editor, my boss, the re-recording mixer, and the music editor.
Right.
And we were the ones actively working on everything.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I could even say, hey, maybe let's just take out the trumpet here. Mm-hmm. And we can just take out the trumpet. I don't know that there will be any trumpet anywhere in this movie, but you never know.
Mixed in with the brass.
Yeah.
Maybe no trumpet solos.
No trumpet solos. Onyx's theme is just a trumpet solo. Tyler, any progress on the found footage films post-production? Yes, we can't speak too specifically about it, but that film should have a home kind of soon. And we will be finishing VFX and sound on that one at some point. We can't even think about that right now.
I know, it's tough.
Yeah. What's the best piece of produce to stab for a sound effect of a stabbing? Do you have a preference of melon?
I was beating up a cucumber.
You beat up a cucumber?
Recently, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like squelchy sounding vegetables.
Yeah.
doesn't sound like a human body.
Yeah.
That would be like watermelon.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound good to me.
One of my favorite memories of film school was.
I don't even like celery, by the way.
Oh yeah,
and that's like a classic one. I don't like the sound of celery.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound like bones to me. Anyway,
yeah. One of my favorite film school stories is we would do our own Foley and sound design over a short that we shot on 16, and to like kind of learn that process. And so they were all like very bare, just like like student films. And then this one guy in his short, he cut his hair, and he was known for having long hair. He was like this cool guy in our production class. And when he cut his hair, it was like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. We were all like, "What the fuck?" And at the end of it, the teacher was like, interesting choices in there. So what did you use for the hair cutting? And he was like, "Oh, I used a really hard bristled toothbrush over a comb." And we were like,
thought he was a genius.
Yeah, we were like, "You ever had your hair cut before? It didn't sound like that, my guy."
Yeah.
And it just cracked us up because he was a great guy, but he was like a little, full of himself.
Yeah.
And gosh, he was wealthier, and he just was always like buying his own Bolex cameras to shoot. He was like, "I don't even have to rent from the school. I'm buying a 16 millimeter camera this weekend." We were like, "Cool, man. Jeez." God. Anyway. So, and he could have just cut a wig, right? But you get into that mindset where you're like, no, you never use what you actually see.
Yeah.
And it's like, sometimes you should.
Yeah, sometimes you should.
For Foley, like there's stuff on our Foley. I haven't said who it is yet, but I might soon enough because they're known and on TikTok. But a lot of times when you watch their videos, they're sometimes it's an unexpected object.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's kind of pretty one-to-one comparable as far as like.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I watched them doing footprints in snow, and it was like snow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It was just snow or ice that they had,
like
blended.
Cornstarch, I think, is one of them.
Yeah.
It's a good crunch.
Yeah.
I don't do Foley.
Totally.
So
that's something to explain to people that like sound design. You said it interestingly the other night. You said Foley you're doing the periods and exclamation points.
Yeah.
And they're doing the commas.
Yeah.
In a sense. Because I don't know, how would you explain that to people?
I mean, the easiest example is just like, I don't want to be cutting 1,000 footsteps.
Right.
In Pro Tools.
Clothing moving, footsteps, hands touching skin, hands touching props
People
making
can perform
sounds.
that in real time to picture. It saves time. It sounds better.
Yeah.
And then I have a guide. So if I want to add more footstep creaks,
right,
I've got those footsteps. I can add some creaks under that. I can see them. That's fine. But getting those first down, man, it's such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
You rummaging through the lunchbox.
Right.
I don't want to be cutting a bunch of rummaging.
Totally.
They're going to really get the right amount of jump together to actually, with their fingers, go through it while they're watching you do it.
Totally.
It's so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love watching Foley performed.
It is more fun to watch than somebody doing this. Yeah.
I love this too, but I love watching Foley perform just because it does feel so good when you get it right. And the Foley artist is so excited when they just know they timed it right, and there's just very little editing required. Yeah,
so I'm doing a lot of Foley-esque sounds, but I'm like doing all these, like you said, these periods and exclamation points.
Yeah.
I'm adding more bass. That's something that Foley artists don't usually do.
Right.
They're a little more real with everything.
Yeah.
I'm making things sound massive, fantastic.
So for instance, when Bartok is uncovering the coffin, you'll have Foley of the shovel hitting dirt.
Yeah.
But you might beef it up to make one of those hits sound like, there's a giant boom when it hits.
Yeah, or they might be having it hit dirt, but we wanted to hit some stone.
Right.
I throw some stone in and make that really nice and
crunchy.
Beefy,
yeah.
Always beefy, more beef.
We keep going back to it being beefy. Yep. All right, so now we are Reel 5.
I mean, there's a good example of that right here.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you hear like
You hear
shape.
everything in the room.
Yeah.
It's a close-up shot of her falling.
Yeah.
And you don't want to just Foley a body fall. Like they'll throw a stack of potatoes down on a wood thing, and they'll be, oh, cool, that sounds nice.
Mm-hmm.
I've got these massive bass hits. I've got candles, metal candle holders, in stereo, shaking and rattling.
Yeah.
Because a huge part of like making a sound really big is how it affects the environment around it.
Right.
So
yeah,
I mean, you're about to fall, and it sounds even bigger than
that. Hell yeah!
So and a big part of that is like the dresser is also rattling.
Yeah.
Across the room.
Yeah, totally.
Because your fall was that hard. So.
That's right.
But the crawling would be folded.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then this little body fall here is a very simple sound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a smaller fall.
Onyx.
Lots of fun, cool stuff there we can do.
Yeah, there'll be a little bit of transforming beginning on that.
These are sequences that I'm always happy to see. I love doing sound, but don't have to do anything there.
Yeah.
Move on. You know what I haven't done yet are the books flying across the room, but I marked them.
Oh, nice.
But I did a few other things.
Bullshit!
I want that to sound nice.
Bullshit, you rub.
So that's something that's hard for me to find in the sound effects library. So that's like that's like the gray area between me and Foley.
Right.
Where I might have to throw a book across the room.
Right.
And I think in a part over here, I did. You can grab that mic right there if you want.
Oh yeah.
It's a shotgun mic on a pistol grip.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of recording with that.
Yeah.
Funny enough, books pop up. Oh, you ready for this?
Oh yeah, I've been dreaming about this.
Oh wait, hold on. I'm actually going to get your head.
Mm-hmm.
Onyx, how much of that did you drink?
I don't know.
Yeah. That sounds great. That sounds like what it felt like when I fell the first time and I didn't have a pillow down. I had a crash pad, but I hit the crash pad so hard.
Yeah.
I gave myself whiplash. I really felt like
Whoever's watching, if you want to turn around and show this real quick.
Oh, yeah. Well, except that adjustment's in my shot, too.
Just this.
Oh, yes. Copy. Of the layers for that fall.
Yeah, so this is just the Onyx falling on the ground.
Let's see. Where's your... Oh, yeah.
So these are all different sounds of impacts and things rattling in the room and the whoosh into it. It's not organized. But that's just one single body fall.
And then can you play that body fall again?
So that's all. But you can hear it. Bowser can tell you in the room that sounds really big. Yeah.
It's great.
It sounds like you broke your face.
Yeah, it does.
You also get the sense of the mansion and the wood.
Yeah.
The wood old mansion too. You know, there's nothing modern about the sound of that.
Who am I?
That's great. Meatloaf, baby.
So during our spotting session, we talked about heightening some of these elements, and it definitely works.
Okay, that's good.
So I did the little whoosh of
the hood.
Who am I?
You know.
And this is fun.
No, I won't do.
Yeah,
it's been intense, but
totally.
We can do something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is kind of silly, but I don't know what you want to do with this, but I thought it was kind of fun.
Yeah. I like it. I think all that stuff should be there, and we can decide how much to hear of it, but I like all that. I mean, it is meant to be like just a yeah.
I mean, that's mixed in there.
It's meant to just be like a bombastic sequence. Yeah.
This part's really fun.
Oh,
wait, hold on.
it's crazy and it's true.
Oh yeah. That's great.
Now you can't move it up there.
I know. Even maybe when she like first steps in, if we want like something on those curtains opening, you know, because when she first enters.
Oh yeah, like some flag movement.
Yeah. Well, here, but I mean when she first enters the music video. If you go to the top of the music video. like when she first steps in right there, that like a.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's quiet. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And see, this is a moment where I know what the music's gonna sound like.
Right. Yes.
So
Very true.
So that's why I was like, I synced up everything to the beat.
Yeah.
And lucky enough for the editing,
Yeah.
you synced it up with the
Totally
music as well. Did you even realize that you were?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Totally. I put my years of parody music video editing to good use.
Now the candle wasn't synced, so you'll see that I cheated it.
Oh. Oops.
The glass matches work. No, it's fine.
Yes.
It dramatically works perfectly.
Yeah.
But you'll see that I cheated the sound effect
to be on the beat.
Yeah. So that's. Yeah. No, I would not have asked you to edit it.
Oh, it's crazy and it's true.
Anything, Onyx. I can do whatever your
Oh yeah, that stuff's great.
Join me.
It's pretty. I don't know if there's any other moments we want to hit here.
Join me, and we can be together. Anything for love. I would do anything for love. I would do
I think this is all pretty musical.
Yeah.
There's no real big sound height.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This is all pretty half-baked. A huge part of this is going to be Olivia's dialogue edit.
Yeah.
And taking that and putting effects on that.
Totally.
But I started kind of having some motivated cutaways. Did you say this is not final? Correct?
No, they're not final.
But it is going to be the general idea.
Very much so.
Okay, because each one is kind of motivated. Like this is
yes.
This is a knife ring.
It will be exactly these, just the finished sketches. I mean, the finished illustrations.
Okay.
I have
like paintings.
No, they're like the grimoire illustrations.
Okay.
I can show them to you right now.
Okay.
But
they're all motivated, so they go along with the story. If it's a knife, if it's a gal, it's kind of it's him screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. But really, the big focus is going to be Olivia's voice.
And I think this is an example of. Well, this is an example of your sound design might actually inform the VFX, because I don't think they're just going to be flashing on screen. I think there'll be kind of like, not light leak transitions, but there'll be something like the opening titles of Drag Me to Hell. I think all of your sound effects.
Which is hilarious. Have you watched it recently?
Oh, yeah.
There's no sound.
On the opening titles?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about there being sound on the opening titles, but the visual, there's like flames and stuff and all of that. So.
I mean, it blows my mind, though, how little, when we go to reference stuff.
Oh, like here's an example of the finished one of her climbing out of the pit. This is about how different they look from the sketches.
Oh, wow. That's great.
They look like the grimoire illustrations.
Those look awesome. Edward Gorey.
Yeah, totally. And here's him.
That looks so good.
Yeah. But so a lot of your like sound effects there might help inform. So is it all score on the opening titles? Yeah.
There'll be these huge sound effects moments there.
Totally. And like some of it might even kind of bleed onto the page like that.
I can easily sound design this and make it sound 1,000 times more cinematic.
Yeah.
It's funny how they just kind of let that go. Sometimes I wonder like if the titles come in like last minute.
Right. And they're like, it is what it is. Yeah.
That's what happened on Lucy Bezzy.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what happened on another movie I worked on too, is that they didn't get the graphics till the mix, and then they were like, take all the sound out. Because I did sound design for different graphics.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little sloppy and whatever,
but yeah, that's the vibe.
Yeah.
And when he, just so you know, when he first gets into the meat hut, I think it would be fun out of the blankets for it to just be, you know, the fluorescent light.
We talked about it in the spotting session.
Yeah.
I remember Olivia kind of being like, whoa, really? Okay. But
yeah.
Because it is. I mean, in the temp, it's different.
Yeah.
But hold on, let's talk real quick because I definitely had some thoughts.
I think it's funny to go because the song will not ring out.
It won't ring out.
Right.
That's
It'll be
huge.
like right.
Yeah.
It'll be like, well, and then I just want it to be like fluorescent lights, refrigerator. Like I want it to go from the romance of that music video to just like stark reality.
Yeah, I love it.
And yeah.
With like a slight ring out from the music, probably like a little reverb,
something, yes.
or from the.
But it won't be this kind of calm ramp down. It will be some kind of messy.
I like that. Yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah,
it'll be nice and jarring.
And then it's like, yeah, he's just back at the shit house.
No, it's a good jarring one. Yeah, so I didn't just. Abaddon is still up in the air.
Yeah.
So, all looks great though. It's gonna be a lot of fun to do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We don't need that to sound like fries in a nightmare.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Does it?
No, sir, it does not.
In less than one.
And I think, you know, I think we might have talked about this, but the flickering of the fluorescent lights, like however much we want to bring in or however little, it could also sound completely like a vacuum and just Abaddon's voice. I don't know. Or we could have some environment. Yeah.
Yeah. There's probably gonna be moments where we just want to hear. But
yeah.
Vacuum sounds really scary.
Right.
Dreamy.
I am asking VFX if they can remove any cars passing because it's just meant to be like dead.
I remember you talking about that. That's how a nightmare feels. So.
Right. Yeah.
It'll really cut through. Whatever you think there, it'll cut through. I mean, that roar right there, can't wait to like figure that out.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's gonna be a huge moment.
Yeah.
Those will be even better, but I kind of just tempt that in.
Totally. And he can probably sound a little squishy, you know, because I think, because he's ground beef. I think any, I think he can be squishy with pretty much every move. Somebody said, how long does the sound process take?
Holy good Lord.
I mean,
as long as you want it to.
Right. For us, I guess it'll wind up being like, well, truthfully, maybe 7 weeks.
I think 7 weeks, yeah. But
yeah.
But that gives me a little breathing room to take days off.
Yeah. Basically,
so
from when
6 weeks is the.
Yeah. From when we locked cut till when we're hoping to have a more complete version of the movie, it's probably about 7 weeks.
Yeah.
So that would be
with me leaving town and having events and stuff like that.
Yeah, like you're out of town for a little bit, but the composer will keep working. So like music will still be happening. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. 6 weeks is a good kind of standard budget standard thing. Yeah. I on the last project I did, which was bigger budget, I had less time.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it was just a really compressed schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of did that. It's probably some fun stuff, but I feel like that needs to be good.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, and I think that, and again, that might be Foley, but that wood plank can sound really beefy.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm starting to realize you're loving the beef.
I'm loving the beef.
And there's all this beefy stuff. There's all this beefy stuff in there.
Oh yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Even that right there.
Yeah. I mean, if I had a knob that just said beefy, I just keep cranking it.
No, yeah, you're loving the texture. which is a lot of fun for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. We done voices, man. Voices
Yeah.
are a big part of it. So the way that happens, I don't know how like stabby it's gonna be. So I kind of you're like Jesus. So I kind of want it to feel like a
Yeah.
like more of a. You'll hear other stabs that are just like
Totally. Yeah.
brutal.
I think
More of
that's
a
nice.
dreamy stab.
Because it kind of like leads into my Yelp.
But I'll say that when I hear it, I'm like, I'm not done with that. Like I just feel like this whole sequence is gonna have a signature feeling to it, and
Totally.
the sound effects are gonna have things that I'm gonna add.
I know it sounds basic, but I wonder if for this we should look at, or you should look at some Nightmare on Elm Street, some of the dream sequences.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
is that another thing though that
where you're gonna watch it, there'll be nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. What do you think?
It might be.
Prediction.
I bet you, if you look at, I would say look at Nightmare 3. I bet you there's some cool stuff in Nightmare 3. Nightmare 3 might be very straightforward, though. It might just be like fully sound designed when they go into their dreamscape. But I also wonder if there's some that are more stylized where there's less sound and there's only, and everything's echoey and there's only key sounds heard. And I don't know. I don't know how stylized they get, even though I've watched them all 10 times each.
Yeah, I'd be really curious, man.
But Nightmare 3 is the best one. But it's also the biggest in ways, so it might not have the intimacy that Nightmare 1 has in the dream sequences specifically.
Huh. No, I'm curious. I mean, it's about dreams. I mean, they had every reason to go as over the top as possible.
Do you have a take on Kubrick and sound design? Is he known for any specific approach to sound design?
Oh man, Kubrick's all music.
Yeah. When I think about The Shining, I don't immediately have a take on what the sound design is like.
It's like what he did with oh my god.
Clockwork?
No.
FMJ, Full Metal Jacket.
The music in The Shining. I know the composer's name. What's his name? Can you tell me?
I should know.
Damn, we should both know.
Olivia would know.
Does Olivia know?
Shining's her favorite. Shining and Exorcist.
He reused, stuff that had already been composed.
Yeah.
A lot like 2001.
Right.
For that.
And then he just fucking cranks it.
Yeah, I mean, it's that experimental composer who was just like scratching the strings,
right?
And it's fun stuff like that.
Yeah,
Which, fun fact, David Lynch would take that stuff and like put it down like 5 octaves and then play it backwards and then put it into his film.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
It would just sound like these insane soundscapes.
Yeah. Let me see.
Kubrick and sound design.
Kubrick and sound design. Are you talking about Penderecki?
I love what he did in Eyes Wide Shut with the piano. Like,
yeah. You're talking about Penderecki.
And even the Penderecki.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big music guy.
Yeah, that's true.
I think what always comes to mind as a sound effects person is kind of like these more modern aesthetics.
Yeah.
With this just like unlimited textures and people that were doing this even before digital sound was huge.
Right. I did watch a little behind the scenes thing on Mank. It wasn't the most informative, but it touched a little on the sound.
Yeah.
But it was mostly talking about the visual approach.
Which is funny. I'm talking about modern aesthetic right now, but that was more.
That's like throwback.
Modern take on throwback.
Totally.
Using a lot of the modern technology.
Yeah.
I mean, the Kubrick thing's a good question because it's not so much of a density sound effects question. It's more of an approach.
It kind of feels like,
which I would have to look more into.
His approach with sound design is like, not to say basic, but when I add up from memory, it all feels very real world, and then it is a fuck ton of music as far as what takes kind of precedence.
Yeah.
But I guess I could rewatch The Shining and because like even the elevator scene, it's like there is no sound.
Yeah, right. Like, they just go quiet.
Yeah.
Which is a great choice.
Oh,
so
totally.
It's like,
that's why it slaps. I guess there's probably like a or something over it, right? There's like
the 2001 when they show the planets, that sound design's really cool.
Oh yeah.
When they show Jupiter.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Am I thinking 2010? That's not good.
Well, that's okay. We can talk about 2010. But yeah, but I bet you 2001 that's got to have interesting sound design. That's got to.
I mean, just the fact that. Fun fact about that was that he recorded 2 actors for Hal. Does everybody know that?
I didn't know that.
He recorded 2 actors for Hal. 100% completed the movie with both of them.
Gotcha.
And then chose, like in the final hour, the guy that didn't get chosen had no idea about it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but that just the aesthetic of his voice, of that guy's voice, is incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's a big thing that's going to come up when we start doing Abaddon. We start doing the Ghouls and all that stuff. It's getting that signature vocal performance.
Yeah.
Those kind of things.
Give it to me.
Did I? Where are we? Huge section of Foley only.
Yeah.
We're post-dream sequence. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with that in the next month. Yeah.
Oh yeah, just that supernaturalistic. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do some nice backgrounds for it, but I would say this would be like the most peaceful serene backgrounds that I would do.
Yeah, I thought maybe when Max says, "I spent some time in the walls. This place is a maze. Do we want to like hear some, cracks or creaks and yeah."
Absolutely. Yeah. Without going through that, I'm just gonna kind of plot.
Yeah.
We can do that. Anything else about that scene?
No, I think that's the only thing. Yeah. I don't know unless you can do some non-comical like stomach gurgling, when he's like, oh, because he is sick from drinking.
Oh no, for sure.
But we don't want to play it for a joke probably in this scene. But
we want to know that he's hungry.
But we want to know that, yeah. And I love a good internal, stomach gurgle.
Yeah, I got plenty of that. Highlighted a few comments here.
Yeah.
I felt like maybe you would have some comments about this.
Dumb question, but they'll even do like puppet Foley, right? I mean, if it's a hand on a jacket, even if it's a puppet hand.
Oh yeah.
Playing the piano and smashing mirrors with a cane.
Yes. Yes, master.
Is this the first time people are hearing the movie?
Yeah.
Wow. This is basically just a conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know why I felt like I had to do that one.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I like our little grunt there. We want to maybe put like almost like a demon grunt, but I kind of like the performance.
Yeah, I do too.
It's such a small little.
It feels very like childish.
Yeah. We can get more demon like later. Nah, I can do better.
Could we almost have like, I was about to say marbles. I just want to make sure we feel that little toy broke up into 5 pieces. You know what I mean? Like hear those little bits scatter.
Yeah, see, that's another instance where I thought I was kind of overdoing it a little.
Right.
But we need more. Okay, so. Yeah, definitely. I even recorded knickknacks from my shelf.
Oh, yeah. Just because it is meant to signify that toy can break apart. That's how Onyx can use it in the cemetery the way he does. But any little cheap toy can break apart.
Because he's also hitting other things.
Yeah.
See those right there.
Mm-hmm.
So just more of those, and then the other thing that's going to sell it is spreading a little stereo.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere.
Oh yeah.
That's a knickknack. But just more of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just specifically, those little bits scattering. Oh yeah.
What's the point?
And that's mixed in with production sound. Production sound's really good on that.
Yeah, it was. I remember being stoked on how that sounded.
It's natural.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I haven't done anything for this, but
Dagger business.
I found the perfect sounds for that in Reel 6 or 7. So I'm gonna come back and.
Oh, really?
I had a hard time. Yeah.
What made you find it in 6 or 7?
Because I was searching for just like junk sound effects.
Yeah.
And then I heard the sound of that, the tray and the metal stands.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I even wrote it in a note. Let's see here. Right here. Metal objects, drop hard surface, metal junk.
Nice.
Search for junk fall. I was searching for like metal stuff.
Yeah, metal impact.
So anyway, I got a perfect sound for that. You'll hear the stuff where she's trashing study. It sounds really nice. We'll get some knife ringing in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's mostly just mood and Foley and backgrounds and not a lot of big moments. So, sorry, big sound effects moments. And yeah, moving on to Reel 5. Reel 6.
Reel 6, baby. I'll probably just keep the live stream going. I don't
Cool. Are
give a
people
rip.
saying anything? Or?
People are chill.
So they
Do you
having
go?
a beer with us?
Yeah. Do you go? So they're saying, do you go to every sound design session or catch up periodically? Well, I catch up periodically. Basically, when you say there's enough to listen to, I've popped over, which has just been this week.
This is it.
Yeah.
I mean, we did a spotting session, me, you, and Olivia.
Yeah.
And it was about 2 weeks until we've hooked up again.
Yeah.
And those 2 weeks were getting over that mountain of like, I've got a whole feature of sound effects ahead of me.
Totally.
And this is a place where I feel like, we're just filling in gaps now. It's just like
totally.
I'm taking the knife and Dagon sounds from Reel 2 and I'm putting them in Reel 5.
Yeah.
And then we can focus on the ADR that's coming up and stuff like that.
Totally.
So,
yeah. It's one of my favorite parts of the process, just because I've stopped thinking about the cut. Yeah. And I start seeing it as a solidified object, even though the cut could always change, but in the future. But I'm not engaging with it like everything could move. What if I did this instead? What if we did this take? Oh, you know what I mean? It looks like it's locked, and I'm believing that it's locked, and so it's nice because my brain is like disengaging from that kind of like down in the catacombs investigating stage, and I'm able to just look at now what we're doing on the top of everything, which is so nice.
For sure. And I don't know how much people have heard the phrase that sound is 50% of the movie.
Yeah.
So it's like picture is 50 and sound is 50.
Totally.
I mean, you feel that in these moments.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're just like, oh,
I know.
These things that I've been editing for weeks, months are coming to life in a way that you've never seen.
I know. And even if people know that, I don't know if they truly know that. Like, I mean, bad sound in a movie makes me feel like it is such a cheaper film.
Lazy, cheap.
Yeah. It does something
Not
to your
cinematic.
brain. Yeah. Where you just engage with it differently.
Yeah.
Like hearing the lightning and thunder sound, I just automatically feel like I'm watching an adventure film.
Yeah.
Especially because of how, like you were saying, they're like unique thunder booms every time.
Right.
And
I spent 2 days just on thunder.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got tired of it. It was intense. Like your ears get really tired, like literally tired.
The hardest sequence to cut for some reason was the Tanner and his bois telling me to make the food, just because I was locked into a countdown of him going 10, 9.
Yeah.
But there wasn't enough time for me to get through my business in that time. That was like a day of me like wrestling, trying to like fake beats from him, from other coverage, from other moments, to buy myself time before he started his 10, 9, 8.
Yeah.
And it was I just remember being in a really bad mood. One of the only days where I was in a bad mood while editing.
Oh, wow.
Because it wasn't working.
It's so funny because that's when I was like getting into the groove of working on this.
Yeah.
To figure out like if there's a certain aesthetic or anything. But that first reel is a different movie. So it's kind of funny getting the hang of it, but also
knowing.
I think you may have noticed like toward the end of the reel 1 or whatever, I stopped. I wanted to get to the mansion. I just wanted to get to that. To get to the doors and the magic, because I knew that was going to be really difficult.
Right.
But the first reel is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Because of those interactions and the real world and everything.
Well, the funny thing is, all of Reel 1 is the pickup week in LA. So the whole movie was cut before we shot that. Like I started with the mansion.
Yeah.
And similarly, I was like happy to start with the mansion. I wanted to be in the mansion cutting, and naturally had to because we hadn't shot the first 10 pages. And then cutting the first 10 pages was like, this is the movie too? It was so weird. But fun that you spend so much time.
It still has a horror vibe. Like,
I
feel like the interaction with your family is like, feels like a nightmare.
Totally.
And we're just going to heighten that even more.
Yeah.
With some of the backgrounds that we're going to do.
And I think that's even in how Dan shot it. Like it feels a little off and garish. Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like you're not in the same room together. Like everybody's kind of like alone. And...
Totally.
But you were, right? Like you were in the same room.
Yeah. But yeah, like they're on the couch watching TV. They don't even look over at me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm super excited in the doorway. Yeah. He shot that in a way that would still feel like we're in a horror movie. This is just like the sad kind of gross beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Reel 6, this is the shorty.
This is real short, but there's a lot of
Ooh, there's some beefy stuff at the end.
Yes.
So a door knock.
Mm-hmm.
I wondered if you had a moment to spare.
Foley to do that. A lot of Foley stuff.
Yeah.
Doors. I mean, reuse the door and the dresser from the other reel.
Yeah.
We cut it. It's a bunch of walk and talk, like Foley stuff.
Tomato.
Yeah. The stab, but obviously Thunder's going to be used from the other reel.
Totally.
It's going to be a big music stand.
Yeah, and we could probably have a big, big knife.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When he raises it, yeah.
Tomato.
I'm gonna use the rings from the big ones.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vary it a little more. Again, wait. I thought I did some stuff for you. We never talked about those dusk backgrounds. Could I do some stuff for that?
Oh, yeah.
Does that happen again in Reel 7?
I don't think so.
I did some stuff for the dusk stuff, but I guess maybe we skipped over it. My bad.
Oh.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, what else does it say? Did Mr. Duke have a plan?
So I'm just gonna scroll through real quick if you have any thoughts.
Yeah.
Obviously, cool stuff. Back in the wall.
Can we watch that ghoul moment that I recut?
Oh, yeah.
Just out of curiosity.
And
it helps it a little bit, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I know it's not.
Are you saying regular Mr. Duke?
There's no great
or ghoul
solve.
Mr. Duke?
Do the magic there.
Huh. Because he's definitely a ghoul now. We should run.
Yeah, I mean, it helps. It helps.
Yeah, really now pinpointing on a certain moment, which is just stepping on the book.
Yeah.
I think it helps. It helps. We'll fill all that in with stuff.
Yeah.
This ghoul moment will just be bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, it cuts to it'll just be bigger. It just feels like nothing right now.
I know.
Because he's definitely a ghoul now.
Yeah. No, we'll have.
I mean, with more time and more money, like this scene should have been, and it was when I initially wrote it. I mean, it should have been like a little bit more of an action moment of him catching one of their ankles, then kicking him off.
Yeah.
Then you know what I mean. But I rewrote it prior to even getting to Massachusetts to just be simpler, and then it got rewritten when we realized we'd be jumping through a wardrobe and not going into a vent, because originally it was written that they go into the vents.
Wow.
And then but just appropriately so, this was one of the shortest day. Like we had no time for this. We were overtime.
Mm-hmm.
It was, the sun was coming up, so it was so funny. On the day I was like, I know this should be an action scene, but I'm glad it's not, because there's no time.
Oh yeah.
There was time to get that puppet doing one thing,
right,
and then us running away. Like there was just
Was there any puppet stuff that's just gone
No.
from this moment? So you use everything.
Yeah, all we have is a couple moments of, well, we did get his tongue unfurling from his mouth, but every time we did it, and I think even the puppeteers would agree if they watched the footage, that it just looked a little too much like we rolled that puppet tongue up and then set action and waited for it to fall out. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, again, once we fill that out with score and there's stuff going on. My only question was, what stops the ghoul from getting back to that?
Oh yeah, absolutely nothing.
Is there anything we can do with sound, like to? I was wondering if like a door should shut, like.
Yeah.
Because there's no urgency after that.
I know. They're like in the study. I know. I don't know. Like the ghoul, I guess you could assume was called away by Bartok for another reason, but why? Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think Olivia will be happy with what I've done here.
Oh, nice.
Come do about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're trashing the study.
Yeah. And then more of that here. This is some good stuff.
Bartok! Where are you? Come get me!
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it sounds like we really broke shit.
Yeah. Made a much bigger mess.
Yeah.
Come get me!
Ceramic.
Yeah.
I just kind of guessed.
Yeah.
A nice statue.
That is pretty much what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some heavy ceramic. Slow motion, right?
Uh-huh. I love all that. That's the right vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
Cool.
That's another example. That prop that they throw in that moment was just like real cheap.
Yeah.
But it sounds like heavy metal.
I used actual gold.
That's good.
Ringing
Yeah,
metal.
that's great. On the day when they threw it on the ground, I was like, huh, cool.
Yeah.
Nothing is working.
Is that why you went slow motion?
Huh?
Is that why you went slow motion?
No, it was always like
heavier?
structured to be slow motion.
Oh, okay.
I kind of thought that thing might break apart, but it didn't.
I hope if Olivia's still watching, she was happy with the sound.
Yeah, I don't know if she's still here.
Because that's something she could definitely hear.
Yeah, true.
Isn't the case. Your friends, the prophecy of the fortuitous one is clear. If the souls are collected, a portal.
And were there page ripping sounds in there? I'm sure there were.
Isn't the case.
Yeah. I love all that. I love all this.
Not page ripping exactly. More flooded.
Right.
I may have some. Wait, was that page? That was page ripping.
Yeah.
I mean, just like bump that up.
Your friends.
You're gonna. It's all gonna be like voiceover.
Yeah.
Mainly.
Yeah.
You're barely gonna hear this stuff.
Your friends. Friends. Friends.
Mm-hmm.
The prophecy of the fortuitous one is clear. If the souls are collected, a portal.
I think we should add some cool stuff in there too.
Totally.
And some wood creaking maybe.
Yeah.
The doors aren't moving. Actually, I'm not sure about the wood creaking. Footsteps maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll Foley those, and I'll make them sound a little more.
Mess them up.
So we're toward the end. I did not get through all of this.
Well, it's all good.
So, but there is a huge moment to think. Oh,
Oh yeah, that's great.
Onyx. I cannot
Oh
say
yeah.
Something like that.
Totally.
I mean, I just grabbed the library screen, but we can personalize it.
Yeah. No, but that's great how then it kind of feels like we're leaving that scenario. Good. It's good. He feels nice and lonely in the cemetery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm loving all that.
Cool. This is a really interesting thing that I discovered. I think it's the last thing I've done. I don't know. Yeah. What's up? What's this? Oh, that's the stat. So this is the interesting thing. And I'm wondering if there's any other moments we can do this with. So check it out. Oh, let's start with this line.
Magic to some good use. Put your magic to some good use and make this fool do as I say.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So you see what happened there?
Yeah. You mean on her voice?
No.
What? On the Neil?
Yeah, on the magic stuff.
Yeah.
So
I love all that.
all
Right.
cricket
It's like
stuff,
yeah.
it's like she sucks in everything.
Totally. I
And then
love
you hear
that.
her voice only.
Yeah.
And then he hits the ground, the cricket start again.
That could be, yeah, I mean, kind of.
When can we do that?
Well, when she.
And I'm thinking that maybe there's not going to be score here. Because
Right.
this is a very
It's
quiet,
just
I mean, the context of
confrontational.
the scene is like.
Yeah. I could see there not being score until he starts his chanting.
Yeah.
When she says, go to him or go to your master to Shelley.
Yeah.
That could happen.
Yeah.
I don't know what could get sucked out, but.
No, there's going to be backgrounds in every scene.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny because you're hearing a lot of this with nothing else.
Yeah.
With no room tone or backgrounds or anything like that.
And then somehow going into Meatloaf, there could be something, but I don't know what. But I mean, she is, entering his fucking mind palace. But I love that. I mean, there's got to be other places. Yeah.
And makes her look badass.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean that's with no dialogue edited. Like once I get the dialogue edited in,
yeah,
I'll be able to like do all sorts of crazy stuff with her voice and make it sound real solid.
Yeah.
Otherworldly.
Totally.
That was just a mock-up, really.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
That.
So there's some options too, as far as that was a good place to add color to this.
Yeah.
Especially if there's no score or minimal score. So I'm still kind of working on that. I'm not quite sure I nailed it, but there's this.
Yeah.
I'm in love with it. Like I feel like it's the time we should go a little nuts.
Yeah. The only thing is, but I don't know that this matters. There is no magic technically pulling him down because he's faking it. Because he's swapped out the necklace.
No, she doesn't think there is.
But it doesn't. But the hard thing is.
Funny that you say that.
but she would still be. There is still magic from her. It's just not affecting Onyx.
Because she's got a full bar talk.
Right.
So there has to be something.
Right. So like, I want the logic of this to work because I like it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Because otherwise, it would just be what it's been so far, which is just a guy kneeling down.
I think she's doing something.
She might even be like
not exactly what's happening.
Right. Because I think all of that magic, if you're to apply logic to that magic, she still has all that power. She still has the force and can do whatever and would sound demonic when she's saying something to influence someone's will. I think the only magic that wouldn't be in this moment is the crystal glowing, and it's not. Like, all of that would still be happening. It would just be happening, and Onyx would be like not being forced to the ground. He's forcing to the ground because he's choosing to. It might be a little confusing, but I still think it can make sense.
Yeah. But
all of that kind of theatrical magic is still happening.
Yeah.
It's just the truth is Onyx could withstand it because he doesn't have the necklace on.
Right.
You know, like her doing all of that would always sound like that, but if the person's wearing the necklace,
Exactly.
it would actually work.
Yeah. Because if that is actually happening when she does magic and it's disturbing nature,
right?
Things like that, Bartok would know that. And if it didn't disturb nature, it didn't make those sounds,
right?
You feel it, and he would know instantly she was faking. She was
right.
Fucking with them.
And another way this scene could go is she would do all this, and it would have all of that sound, and Onyx just wouldn't move, and she'd be like, "What? What?" And he's still just like, "I'm not wearing your necklace."
Yeah.
So she'd still have all of that sound.
Right.
He's just pushing past it. Yeah. I wanted to talk through it, but I do think that logic tracks because I think that moment is worth making work.
It's like Olivia's. You're not a Lord of the Rings guy, you said?
No, I mean I've seen them all, I've read them all, but I'm just not like a devotee. But
in Fellowship, Gandalf is this like nice wizard.
Yeah.
There's that one moment, and you might know it.
When he
like,
when he
don't
goes,
take me for a conjurer of cheap tricks.
Totally.
And all of a sudden it gets real dark.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's her moment, I feel like, where you actually see her.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of that. I mean, she does do that to other characters and stuff, but this is like kind of the first time she's
truly like outwardly manipulating somebody.
Yeah.
In
a, like,
other than maybe
hostile way.
Yeah. Other than maybe like go to your master.
That's what I was thinking, but that's more sneaky.
Yeah, it is.
This is her badass moment, so I want to really highlight the badassery going on.
Yeah. She could always I don't think she gets too fiery during the Mackenzie when they're fighting over Shelley, but you could maybe fuck with that around then. Maybe not. She's trying to seem more copacetic.
She is. That's how I feel like the whole movie. She's trying to be like everybody's friend.
She is.
Yeah.
But then when we go full Damon, you know, then it's like the juice.
Let's have fun.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's great. Does anybody have any?
Yeah, that was it. That was our second.
That was our
playback session.
Our playback sesh. Hunter, good to see you. What a time to wake up. Hunter was one of our. He was actually one of our EPs that like visited set. One of our most supportive Kickstarter backers, and Hunter's a moderator for me. Mm-hmm. But Hunter was there on set during pretty much this stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's been really fun to have people like that stay in the loop because now we're sound designing the stuff that like Hunter saw us delivering out in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Shivering in the rain and cold.
Yeah.
Hunter, you might be interested to know that we had previously said that probably all of the finale would be ADR'd because it was raining and there was wind and but you're saying maybe we don't have to ADR all of it. Up in the air, I guess, right? But we've heard.
It's up in the air. There might be a line or two, but we were able to save a lot of it.
That's interesting. Gosh. One of the main things I'd be curious to know if we can save is the NGO. Is Onyx's monologue when he comes out of the pit.
So you're kind of yelling it, and the sound in the background is constant.
Yeah.
So
that might be ADR.
I don't want to make any promises. No.
Oh, you might be able to.
We might be able to save that.
That's tight. I don't mind performing that again, just because it's easy to ADR Onyx because he has one speed. Right. I can do it whenevs. But it would be cool if it was the production sound, just because it was like, I liked how I delivered it. You know what I mean? And it had that urgency of the Onyx videos that I used to do where I was like, I want to get this whole monologue in one take.
Yeah.
And I feel like it had that energy. But, you know, I could get there with ADR, but it'd be tight if it was the way it was.
Yeah, no extra work.
Yeah. Hunter said, yes, the third take on the Onyx monologue was magic. It did feel like, it felt like the completion of a 10-year cycle. It was like, I think I've gone as far as I used to make these rant videos where I was out at an anime convention or wherever, and now I'm out in the middle of the night in Massachusetts with a crew of people filming me in my underwear doing one of those bits, but having risen from a pit, a hell pit, and wielding a giant broadsword. And I was like, I think this is full circle. I think we're done.
Yeah.
Not that we wouldn't make another Onyx movie if we get to, but it felt like a nice full circle moment.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, my DP was like, you don't need to do it again. That was the one. And then I watched it back on monitor, and it felt like the take. It didn't feel like there was
only
anything
did 3
else
takes.
Yeah, yeah.
To the 3rd take?
Yeah,
Wow.
totally.
Okay.
Yeah. And I had added like 3 lines because we wanted to make sure it timed out with the Steadicam push.
Mm-hmm.
And so what was so funny is the night was so tight. I was in the makeup chair getting turned into like fried Onyx, having come out of the pit, getting dirt put on. My wig had to be taken off, distressed to put back on. It was like a 20-minute changeover while they were setting, and there was just no time to lose. So they needed to rehearse that move.
Mm-hmm.
So I recorded it on my phone, me doing it, and then I sent it to my AD.
Oh, cool.
And then they would rehearse the Steadicam move by playing it on the phone.
Oh, that's so funny.
While I was up in the makeup chair. So they timed it all out. And Dan, my DP, was like, it times out perfectly once I added these 2 lines.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they kind of reached me too soon.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't long enough of a move. And then we got down there and we did it 3 times. Does anybody have any other? And for some reason, I chose to stand like a Mr. Tumnus. I don't know why. Felt like Onyx would take that stance. I can't wait to see that pit.
I know, for this shot.
Yeah, for that. Does anybody have any last questions for Mike Gallagher, our co-supervising sound editor and sound designer? If not, we'll probably sign off. Doing a 2-hour stream was that's unprecedented for my streams.
Really?
Yeah, we usually cap it at an hour. I think last week we did like an hour 10.
Okay.
Because
Wow,
we
2
were
hours
feeling
is shattering.
it's
records.
shattering. We have shattered the records.
All right. It was interesting to someone.
I think so. I think I wish like I had just done more streams like this while Olivia and I were cutting, that I just like set up a camera.
Oh, like editing?
Yeah, just to like hear us discuss and make decisions, because I think all that is very interesting. Just because I think people don't understand how many little decisions. Every movie is just a million tiny decisions.
Yeah, totally.
From many different people, from many different artists and technicians, and
these same discussions you're gonna have with color.
Oh yeah,
and yeah, everyone, music, the effects, this is all happening.
Yeah, I'll be going to Nashville to do a session like this with Matt, and maybe I'll put up the stream as well there for a little bit. Well, people, make sure you check out In-Depth Sound to see some of Mike's videos where he does deep dives with
leave a comment and let me know that
you came from the Onyx stream.
Yeah,
totally. And we'll see y'all next week, and hopefully next week Olivia will be here, and I don't know if she's still in chat, but I'll touch base with her as soon as we sign off. And all right, cool, chill stream. Thanks everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Interesting.